Test cap legends, and a cap signifies each appearance for an international side and is the ultimate measure of consistency and endurance. In modern rugby, the highest capped players are Alun Wyn-Jones of Wales, who has amassed an astonishing 171 caps, 158 for Wales, 13 for the Lions, between 2006 and 2023, and New Zealand lock Sam Whitelock, who has surpassed the 150 cap mark with 153 appearances by 2025. Their dominance is matched only by the legendary Richie McCaw at 148 test appearances. Reaching such a milestone reflects far more than sheer time. Each test demands peak fitness, skill, and strategic importance. Supporting cast includes Sergio Parisse, 142 caps, Brian O'Driscoll, 141, and James Slipper, 140, all of whom demonstrated exceptional value across numerous tournaments. Notably, in the amateur era, reaching triple digits was almost unheard of, making the modern superstar's durability even more remarkable. Test point scoring titans scoring consistently at the international level requires not only precision and nerve, but also the trust of teammates and coaches to deliver under pressure. The current high score leader is Dan Carter, the New Zealand fly half who amassed 1,598 test points over 112 matches from 2003 to 2015. His impressive cumulative includes 29 tries, 293 conversions, 281 penalties, and 8 drop goals, yielding a rare average of 14.27 points per match, the highest among players exceeding 500 total points. Second place belongs to England's Jonny Wilkinson with 1,179 points, followed closely by Owen Farrell, 1,271, and Johnny Sexton, 1,108. In an era where fly halves and fullbacks shape platforms and strategy, these scorers have held the nerve under pressure, especially in crucial protest matches and World Cup games. Carter also holds conversion, 293, and penalty, 281 records, plus test scoring records against top-tier opposition. 178 points versus England, 163 versus France, and 255 versus South Africa. In addition, Carter is the top scorer in Rugby World Cups with over 300 points and has the most tournament conversions at 58. Top test try scorers. Scoring tries in international matches demands pace, skill, positioning, instinct, and longevity. With an astonishing 69 test tries, Japanese wing Daisuke Ohata holds the world record, averaging over a try per game across 58 tests. Close behind is Brian Habana, South Africa, with 67 tries, with David Campese, Australia, adding 64. Brian O'Driscoll, 46, combines elite finishing with midfield mastery in his tally. Each player's career combined skill with stage presence. Ohata in World Cups, Habana in Springbok decision games, Campese in attacking rugby, and O'Driscoll with Irish flair. Record-breaking single matches. Certain matches transcend statistics, embedding themselves into rugby myth, but first and foremost, through record performances. In 1994, Simon Culhane scored a staggering 45 points. 5 tries, 10 conversions, and 5 penalties against Japan. The tally remains the highest individual test total to this day. Meanwhile, in 1999, Wales's Neil Jenkins scored 263 points over one calendar year, passing his earlier feats and illustrating remarkable accuracy and volume in a single season. These record-setting performances stand out because they occurred in test matches, not club rugby, but the highest international stakes, records reflecting eras and technology. These records are not just about statistics, they reflect rugby's evolution. In the early era, tests were fewer. Now, frequent tours and tournaments allow records to grow. Point scoring soared after professionalism. Post-1995, kick techniques improved and scoring opportunities multiplied. Try counts reflect tactical shifts, Hawkeye-style finishing for wingers, centre creativity, and professional breakdown support. Each record is a historic layer. Derek Carter's kicking accuracy, Ohata's sevens-informed speed, Habana's breakaway finishes, each defining their era. Emerging contenders, even records entering 2025, remain dynamic. Owen Farrell is approaching 1,300 test points, while Johnny Sexton recently surpassed 1,100. On caps, Sam Whitelock may soon exceed Alun Wyn-Jones unless injuries intervene. This is not just about fitness, but ongoing dominance. Emerging stars in tries and points continue to rise too. Players from Tier 1 countries, tightly funded and regularly playing in tests, keep pushing the ceiling upward. Longevity, health, and national selection are rare privileges. Only the most consistent earn them. Why these records resonate? These records matter because they signal rare combinations: talent, opportunity, health, team trust, and time spent at rugby's top. Caps reflect decades of elite rugby across different coaches and lineups. Points show technical excellence and strategic execution. Tries evoke athleticism, space awareness, and clutch finishing. Single match feats earn their place in the folklore of rugby with performance and context. These records aren't just for highlight reels. They shape national narrative, influence selections, and define legacy. Rugby history is richer for them, and future players aim to honour or break these legacies. From Alun Wyn-Jones and Sam Whitelock's enduring presence to Dan Carter's unrivaled accuracy and Daisuke Ohata's try-making genius, rugby's record books encapsulate excellence across all forms of the game. These milestones, whether career, seasonal, or single match, tell stories of eras, personalities, and unforgettable moments. World Cup, most individual points. The Rugby World Cup is where legends materialise, and few shine brighter than Jonny Wilkinson, England's legendary fly-half. Across 4 tournaments, 1999 to 2011, he amassed a record-breaking 277 points in just 19 matches. His tally included 1 try, 28 conversions, 58 penalties, and 14 drop goals, each a testament to his nerve and precision, and each point written in history by his iconic drop goal to clinch the 2003 final. Second on the all-time list is Gavin Hastings, the dependable Scottish fullback with 227 World Cup points, followed closely by Handré Pollard, whose 195 points across 3 tournaments cement him as South Africa's premier scorer. These records reflect a shift. In the amateur era, goal kickers earned their stripes through consistency. In the modern era, they defined tournament outcomes through clutch execution. Single tournament scorers. For sheer impact in one tournament, Grant Fox stands out. In the inaugural 1987 tournament, he scored a staggering 126 points for the All Blacks. His dominance paved the way for New Zealand's early supremacy on the world stage. In 2003, Jonny Wilkinson scored 113 points for England, playing a crucial role in their World Cup win. Pollard followed suit with 93 in 2019 and 75 in 2023. These point hauls underline how pivotal a calm, accurate place kicker can be under World Cup pressure. Most tries and single-match try feats. When it comes to tries, Jonah Lomu and Brian Habana remain tied for the most career World Cup tries, 15 each. Lomu scored his between 1995 to 1999, while Habana achieved his between 2007 to 2015. Single tournament try records are equally thrilling. Lomu, 1999, Habana, 2007, Julian Surveyor, 2015, and Will Jordan, 2023, each notched 8 tries in a single World Cup. These performances were career-defining. Lomu's size and speed, Habana's bolt of lightning on the wing, Surveyor's power, Jordan's finishing sense. Each left fans breathless. Individual match try records are even more staggering. Mark Ellis scored 6 tries for New Zealand against Japan in 1995. Chris Latham hit 5 in 2003. These performances captured attention and a place in rugby folklore. Team records, biggest scores and margins. The World Cup stage also showcases team dominance. In 1995, New Zealand defeated Japan 145-17, the highest scoring match ever in RWC history, including 21 tries. Australia later matched the 21 try total with 22 against Namibia in 2003, winning 142-0, making it the largest victory margin in tournament history. These matches weren't flukes. They reflected deep disparities in professionalisation and infrastructure, but they also display rugby's capacity for brilliance at the highest level. Conversions piled in too. New Zealand converted 20 tries against Japan in 1995, another record for a single match. Kingdom of Kings, most titles and appearances. South Africa leads World Cup triumphs with 4 titles, 1995, 2007, 2019, 2023, while the All Blacks earned 3, 1987, 2011, 2015. England, Australia and France each earned 1, but unmatched dominance belongs to the Springboks. Several nations stand out for consistency. France has reached the semi-finals in 9 tournaments, the most of any team. 10 teams have appeared in every World Cup since 1987. Single match penalties and drop goals. World Cup scripture also records high penalty tallies. Gonzalo Quesada landed 8 penalties in a single match, 1999, equalled by Gavin Hastings, Thierry Lacroix and Matt Burke. World Cup drop goal records include 5 in one game by South Africa, a remarkable performance, longevity and final records. Many players hold longevity records across World Cups. Jason Leonard and Richie McCaw play in 5 tournaments. Sam Whitelock stands out with 26 World Cup matches, a tournament-era appearance record. McCaw and Jones pulled 22 appearances from comparable feats. World Cup records tell a captivating story. Johnny Wilkinson's clutch boot defined the 2003 finals and set standards in composed point scoring. Lomu and Habana rewrote wing play with thunderous carries and electrifying finishes, and team blowouts by New Zealand and Australia showed disparities that triggered calls for tournament reforms, but stood as raw displays of dominance. Repeated success by South Africa with 4 titles reflects a dynasty sustained across eras. Appearances by Whitelock and McCaw show what it takes to compete across 2 decades and 5 World Cups. These World Cup records aren't just stats, they're momentum, legacy, evolution. They shaped tournament formats, triggered rule changes, and still echo in chants from Twickenham to Johannesburg, international win streaks and unbeaten runs. Some of rugby's most impressive records have been set by teams maintaining long winning streaks or avoiding defeat altogether. The record for consecutive Test wins by a Tier 1 nation belongs to New Zealand, with 18 straight victories between August 15th, 2015 and October 22nd, 2016. This run included 2 clean sweeps over England, a historic archive of dominance. Closer still to breaking that run was Ireland's recent 17-game streak between July 2022 and October 2023, signalling their rise as a true global force in world rugby. In fact, New Zealand boasts not 1, but 2 monumental streaks. A 23-test unbeaten run from May 1987 to November 1990, their dominant phase around the first Rugby World Cup, and later a 22-test undefeated run from June 2013 to October 2014. These runs reaffirm the All Blacks' rare consistency across decades. Outside Tier 1 competition, Cyprus achieved a remarkable 24 consecutive Test wins from November 2008 to November 2014, a reminder that global rugby yields stories of dominance everywhere. Young records beyond caps and points. While individual Test records are celebrated, team-level career milestones also matter. International Tests played remain dominated by the oldest unions. England, 828, Wales, 802, France, 797, Scotland, 762, and Ireland, 760, all with matches played since the late 19th century. Likewise, the total Test wins record places England at 499, followed by Wales, 449, New Zealand, 406, and France, 365. These standings reflect both longevity and results across eras. In terms of points scored, New Zealand leads with 18,626, followed by England, 16,034, and Wales, 14,816, highlighting their enduring offensive strength across generations. World Rankings dominance. Introduced in October 2003, the World Rugby Rankings measure current performance. New Zealand holds the record for the longest uninterrupted time at number 1 to 3,563 days, nearly 10 years, from November 2009 to August 2019. During this tenure, they played 128 matches as world number 1, the most by any team. South Africa is the current topper in 2025, with others like England, Wales and France also spending time at the summit. Calendar year records, games, points, tries. Rugby teams often measure annual success by Test seasonal metrics. In 2003, New Zealand recorded 16 wins out of 17 tests, scoring a total of 658 points, the highest match tally ever, in a single international calendar year. Australia likewise registered significant yearly points and victories victories with 644 points in 2003 over 17 tests. These numbers not only reveal dominance but also help assess relative team forms year to year and their offensive capabilities. They serve as benchmarks for future generations to chase. Attendance records and spectacular matches. Rugby's growth has also been measured by fan attendance. The largest crowd at an international test is 109,874, when New Zealand edged Australia 39-35 at Sydney Stadium, Australia in July 2000. Such numbers highlight rugby's drawing power in rival-strong arenas. Other major landmarks include 107,042 attendees at the same stadium in 1999, and European records like the 104,000-strong crowd at Murrayfield for Scotland versus Wales in 1975. In the women's game, 2024 witnessed a breakthrough. Over 58,000 fans packed Twickenham for England versus France to witness a Grand Slam, setting a new women's test attendance record, a defining moment in rugby's growth and inclusivity. At club level, Harlequins achieved a Guinness World Record at Twickenham with 82,000 fans for a regular season match in 2012. And this year, Harlequins women drew 16,238 fans per games, a massive rise in women's club rugby attendance. The Olympic Rugby Sevens tournament at Paris 2024 set yet another record, drawing 69,000 spectators in one day at Stade de France, smashing previous Sevens attendances. Record team scores, dominant fixtures, and when it comes to single test matches, scoring tallies can be breathtaking. In 1995, New Zealand's 145-17 dismantling of Japan stands as the highest scoring test ever, with 21 tries and 20 conversions. Australia nearly matched this by beating Namibia 142-0 in 2003, scoring 22 tries and 16 conversions. Other monumental victories include 134-3, 20 tries, and 134-0, 21 tries, by various nations in the early 2000s. These results speak to professional investment in elite countries and the yawning gap between global tier levels. The Rugby World Cup also reflects this. New Zealand scored 361 points and 52 tries in 2003. Why these records matter? These team records reflect era-defining dominance, long presence at number one. Won and winning streaks define generations. Fan engagement. Packed stadiums show rugby is alive and growing. Absolute performance. Big wins tell truth about rugby infrastructure, professionalism, and resources. Evolution of the game. Records in calendar performance indicate shifts in formats and player welfare. Competing high-profile tests, club bright spots, and surging women's rugby show how diverse and vibrant the sport is now. As professional seasons expand and international fixtures include more top-tier and emerging nations, expect more record-breaking. Will New Zealand reclaim their 24-game unbeaten streak? Will England or Ireland surpass 18 consecutive wins? Could Stadium Australia host another 100,000-plus test in 2027? Can the women's game eclipse 60,000 in the coming years? These evolving records show us where rugby's heart is. Competition, community, and resounding success. From winning streaks to attendance milestones, Part 3 has charted how international rugby's legacy is measured not just by points or caps, but by sustained excellence, global fandom, and team dominance. These records tell us the story of rugby's growth, from packed stadiums in Sydney to sold-out women's tests at legendary grounds. And what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.